Jane, what more do we know about these explosions?
Well, Hazem, the death toll and casualty rate is still the same as far as we know as those numbers that you mentioned. But this attack has now been going on for over 4 hours, and it's an extremely complex attack. And that's really what they call these types of attacks in Afghanistan, which include fighters, suicide vests, a car bombing, as well as gunfire. Now, it started at close to 5:30 a.m. local time here in Afghanistan, and it started with a huge car bomb, which then allowed attackers wearing suicide vests and carrying weapons to enter into that police headquarters. But you mentioned there that one journalist has also been injured. That journalist was outside the compound covering this story when a three-wheeler motorcycle exploded. So adding more complexity to this attack and hurting the people in and around the area, in and around that police headquarters. It's believed 5 of the attackers are now dead and that there are in total 6. So this could soon come to an end. Rapid response units of all of Afghanistan's elite forces arrived on the scene. They've had the Afghan police, Afghan National Army, and the rapid response units of the intelligence services arriving there, and they're hoping this should be over soon.
And Jane, obviously the Taliban comes to mind whenever we talk about who may have been behind attacks like this. But do we know anything more at this stage about who's responsible for this?
Well, right now, the Taliban have said they have carried out this attack, and it's significant, the timing. Of course, they have said again and again that they will target the elections. This isn't necessarily an election target. This is a police headquarters. But it really ups the tension here in Afghanistan when Afghans are due to go to the polls to vote in a new president in just over 2 weeks. On April 5th, Afghans are meant to be going to the polls. Security is going to be the biggest challenge on that day and in the days leading up to it. Right now, the Afghan presidential candidates have to travel around the country to campaign. Now, in Jalalabad, very close to where the attack is currently taking place, one of the leading candidates held a huge rally there as he's campaigning for votes just less than 2 weeks ago. And they have to do that. They have to be able to get out and around the country to at least try to talk to their supporters, to talk to their voters. And these kinds of attacks will only make that kind of thing much more complicated.
All right, Jane Ferguson reporting to us from Kabul.